Welcome back to the channel, good friends. Brian from Apex Auction Car Reconditioning. Took a little break from the auction car reconditioning to hop over and help the boys. They're getting real busy this time of year. I'm happy to help. Shop manager's right here with us. Working on the second 97 Porsche Carrera, purchased by the same owner up here in Pennsylvania from the White Collection down out of Texas. And a very special car, gorgeous car, convertible compared to the Targa, which was the last one that we did. And this one is a complete wheels off, parts off, cleaning, PPF, protection package, new parts, you name it, we're gonna do it. And I'm gonna get footage and you'll come along for the ride. Let's get started. Well, the shop manager is giving us those "you better get to work" eyes, so let's get to it. A quick walk around before we get started. It looks like it's in great shape. And to most owners and most people walking by, it would look in excellent shape. But it's at our shop for a week or two to go the extra step, to get on that next level. And it's here for a jeweling polish, protection. We're going to use paint protection film. We're going to coat it. We're going to put some new parts on. We're going to take some of it apart. There's going to be minor disassembly to do some cleaning and get some new parts on there as well. And just get this thing to the next level. As you can see, the top's in great shape. The paint's in good shape. It needs to be deep cleaned. It needs to be polished. It definitely needs to be protected. The interior looks absolutely wonderful, well kept. You can tell it wasn't outside much at all during its 9,000 miles, but we're going to freshen it up a little bit more. We're going to protect it. Unless the surface is completely trashed, maybe it was left under a tree. When it comes to classic or antique vehicles, we do not test the seals. We use a rinseless wash, or we do the waterless wash method. And our favorite is Hydra from Phoenix EOD. With the surfaces that we can reach for now, cleaned up, freshened up a little bit, it's time to do some minor disassembly and get ready for the paint protection film, which is going to go on the hood, the bumper, and the shark fins on the side rear quarter panels. And the emblem is going to come off the hood. We would like to get the washer sprouts off of the hood as well, but sometimes it doesn't pay to try and take those off if we're working on a classic or antique, because the plastics get so brittle. You touch them even when you warm them up with a little bit of heat and they just crack right off. So we may leave those on there, which is not a problem. The Grand Prix White, mixed up by Body Shop Supply Store, is in possession, and it's time for us to do a little bit of touch-up before the paint protection film goes on. And we don't want to lock under any rock chips that haven't been addressed. The shark fins here that are, I guess, protecting some of the rear quarter panel are starting to crack and bubble, and they've been on there just way too long. And we're going to take those off and put some fresh film on there to protect the area. In the meantime, some more minor disassembly continues. The parking light assembly, the bumperettes. As you can see, underneath all of this, things need to be cleaned. They need to be polished. And we are more than happy to get that done. And then while it's off, we can make a cleaner PPF install and tuck the film in those areas behind the lights. Along with the car came a box of goodies, and we have some of the turn signal assemblies, the headlights, lenses, and some other little odds and ends that we're going to be replacing as well. Disassembly going nice and smoothly. You can see under the emblem on the hood, now that it's cleaned and polished, that looks so much better. And we're going to continue this process around the car. Now that we have the parking light assembly and some of the other components out of the way, the bumperette, I can get in there and deep clean that a lot better. So much better, nice and fresh and clean. This also ensures, while we're installing the film, that we don't have dirt and grit flushing out from the bumperette and the parking lights and all the other assemblies, getting in behind the film and causing problems. Makes the install so much cleaner. The headlights are next, and if we were doing the fenders, they would come out anyway. The fenders are not getting done on this particular vehicle. However, we do have new headlight lenses that we need to replace on these headlights, so they need to be popped out. An easy process on this vehicle. I wish all cars were like that. Comes out very quickly. The connection on the side of the light, just got to line that up, putting it back in behind the light, very dirty. Happy to have a chance to clean behind that thoroughly. And we're also, while we have the lens out, we're going to replace the lenses. And that really isn't much of a job either. Just a little bit of time and patience, and this thing will be looking fantastic. Again, it gives us a chance to clean behind that. And if we were putting film in the fenders, a lot of that dirt and grittiness could flush back into the film, get stuck in the adhesive, and that would ruin your day. Moving right along, time to plot some film. We have software that we could pull the dimensions of whatever part or panel we're trying to protect onto the screen, position it. So we're trying not to waste film, and then that we transfer over to a plotter, which will cut the film for us and feed it into a trough where we can take it from there into the shop bay and start the installation. Makes it a very nice, uh, sophisticated process. Time for some installation. The film, let's prep the hood. We're getting some of the slip solution on there, and that will help to float the film on the surface while we're adjusting and lining things up so it doesn't grab a hold of the hood. If the adhesive makes contact with that hood at all, it will stick, distort the adhesive, make a stretch mark or a work mark, and you can see that through the film, so you need to be careful. What he's doing now is squeegeeing off the surface, making sure there's no lint or dust particles that may have landed on it, floating through the air from the time we were, just for the time we were in there plotting out the film. A lot of stuff could have landed on that surface, and you need to get it off there. And now he sprays it on there again, so the film has something to float on so we can adjust it. And then we'll peel the backing sheet off of the film so the adhesive is exposed, and we actually spray that down as well and make it wet. And onto the hood it goes. Get it down onto the hood as quick as possible so there's nothing floating through the air or nothing can get stuck to the adhesive and get caught between the film and that surface, because with the lighter colors you will see it rather quickly. And he'll walk around the vehicle, especially on a more complicated hood. This one's an easy flat hood, but he's going to find his attachment points, his stretch points, and he's going to attach the film. In the middle, there's a little bit of a body line or a valley, and he's going to get those first. And he'll work his way out from there and then down towards the nose of the car from there. So every vehicle has a different shaped hood, and strategically you go after it different ways. You've got to read the film, which way it likes to be manipulated, pulled, and stretched to get it to lay down nicely with no fingers, no work marks, and it completes a nice, clean install. When all the water has been squeegeed, the moisture and water have been squeegeed from under the film, it's time to do some trimming. And the best place to start is where those washer nozzles are. Came out nice. Would have been even better if we could remove them without any chance at all of the plastic clips snapping. But it's really time to do some fine tuning on the film, and that's wrapping all of the edges, doing some trimming, and finishing the hood up. The film is always first to get laid down, and whether we do paint correction under that is completely up to the customer. The hood is finished and looks fantastic. Protected for years to come. Now we can move on. All right, that's going to do it for part one. We have a lot more work to do, so we're going to wrap up for the day. Shop manager's ready to go home, and we'll pick this up where we left off in the next video. Catch you guys later.